just a little freaked out. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. First off, happy Thanksgiving. Second of all, we are talking about the brand new show on Apple Plus, the first 3 episodes, and this is Servant. The name M. Night Shyamalan is attached, so it is catching a lot of people's attention. But is this show worth watching? We're going to talk about it, and of course, this has to be a discussion. I need you guys in the comments. What do you think about this show so far, and where in the world is it going from here? We're going to start off and talk mostly non-spoilers. I'll talk a few things at the end of the video, more specifically about the episodes, but let's talk about it. So a young and troubled couple replaces their newborn baby with a lifelike doll after their child dies from health complications. So this show was created by Tony Bascalab, and M. Night Shyamalan comes in to direct multiple episodes, and I knew nothing about this show. Most of the time I will watch a trailer, but for some reason I didn't want to read anything. I didn't want to know. I just knew we had a show called Servant coming to Apple Plus and being directed by M. Night Shyamalan, at least a few of the episodes. And my goodness, did this not catch me completely off guard? And for someone who did not read the summary, the premise going in, I was sitting there thinking, are they like American snipering this baby? Because it doesn't look real. And this is within the first, 30 seconds to a minute of this series. And then I'm like, wait a second. It's supposed to be like that. Toby Kebbell proceeds to sit down and describe exactly what the summary says. And I was completely blown away and caught off guard with how interesting this first episode was. It's a hard thing to get a pilot to grab you immediately and make you extremely intrigued for what is to come, but that's what Servant does. Just the slick direction, the very creepy nature of it, the ominous slow shots, the zooms, the pans, everything about the look and the feel of this first episode was great, and I really loved the cast. Sean Turner is played by Toby Kebbell, who, is Koba in Planet of the Apes, but I truly believe he's a fantastic actor when he pops up in a movie, even if the movie's not the best, because it seems like he constantly picks underperforming films. He is really good. His wife, Dorothy, is played by Lauren Ambrose. Rupert Grint comes in to play the brother Julian, of course, Rupert Grint from Harry Potter, and then we have Neil Tiger Free as Leanne. This is the nanny that comes in to live with Sean and Dorothy. This is a show that will keep you on your toes. It keeps you guessing consistently throughout the first 3 episodes at least, and it has my curiosity piqued. Is everything about it perfect so far? No, but I am completely hooked on where this is going to go because they kind of twist you and turn you every now and then. You think the story is going in one direction, then there's a reveal, and then there are questions as to who can you trust? That's really what the show is all about. Do I trust Toby Kebbell's character? Do I trust the nanny? Well, at first you're like, no, I don't trust the nanny. But then they start to reveal some things, and you're unsure of who is on what side, and you're really unsure as to whether these characters are capable enough of making competent decisions, because these characters, let's be honest, if they would just sit down and talk things out instead of consistently keeping secrets from each other, things would probably go a lot smoother, but not with a nanny like this, and not with a mother who has had such a traumatic experience from what happened to their child. Everyone is basically lying to her or allowing her to live, and I hate to say it like this, a fantasy world, but you understand, because when a mother loses a child, it is the most traumatic thing, I believe, the most traumatic thing that can happen to anyone or anything. In the same case for a father, of course, but for a mother, it's different because you're spending the majority of your time with that baby, and my goodness, do they display that in full effect on how traumatized this mother is, even though she's going about everything happy-go-lucky, but with the child there and it just being this doll almost, you're just, you're really creeped out by the entire thing, and Shyamalan really does a good job of keeping the intensity without over-exaggerated things happening on screen or an abundance of action. It is a slow burn, but it's a necessary slow burn for a show like this. And other than a few character decisions, I have nothing bad to say about where this plot is right now. The mysteries that we're beginning to uncover going into episode 3, especially going into episode 4, once you realize certain things about certain people, and you're just like, oh, okay. Let me tell you, this creepy little Jericho is the name of the doll, the name of the child. It freaked me out. I'm not going to lie to you. Every time it was on screen, I'm just like, ooh. It's like that uncanny valley, lifelike thing, but you know it's not real and it really freaks you out. And they call this transitional object therapy, and it's basically a psychotherapeutic treatment that is supposed to help her get over what happened to the kid, right? Well, then this maid comes in and begins to, quote-unquote, take care of the child because of the parents' wishes. The dad, he knows exactly what's going on. He's like, listen, I don't really need you to do anything or pay much attention. You're going to get paid. You're going to be happy about it. You're going to live here. You're going to make yourself at home. Well, the servant comes in and actually starts taking care of the child that doesn't exist, and your curiosity is piqued. It's like, why is she acting in this odd and strange manner? And then you slowly start to uncover things about her. Well, she's religious. You begin to see things placed throughout the house, things that come into play later on. And then towards the end of episode 2, you realize that something else, something greater is at play here. And that's one thing I was worried about in the first episode. I'm like, okay, this is a really great concept, but how are you going to serialize this? How are you going to make this into a show that will be not just one season, but at least 2 seasons, because they've already greenlit a season 2. Well, when you start getting your answers, you realize that there is much more to this, and there's not just one mystery to unravel, but there are multiple mysteries based on the servant, based on the child, and based on the family. So a lot of really cool things about this show so far. I'm not going to give it a grade in this video just because only 3 episodes is like watching one act of a movie and giving it a score. No, I have to see the rest of it, and of course I'll be back at the end of the season to talk about the entire thing with you guys. But if you're asking, is this a show worth watching? Would this be a recommendation for me? So far, yeah. I mean, I do have some questions. It's not perfect, like I said, but it's a very good setup for something that could be really cool if it pays off. So now I do want to do a little bit of spoiler talk and just hit on a few things. So the child is crying at the end of episode 2. The child is born again, if you will. And this maid, man, she's coming in and wrecking shop. She's setting up these weird wooden crosses, and there's this freaky, like, demonic aspect to just the way that she acts. We don't know exactly where she came from, but one of the mysteries that begins to unravel itself at the end of episode 3 is that there is a gravestone with her name on it, and they're trying to uncover where exactly she came from, if she stole someone's identity, or if she did the same thing that the baby is doing right now, coming back to life. And the parents are freaked out. I mean, Toby Kebbell's character comes in, he's like, did you steal another person's child? Or is this our child again? And we kind of anticipated that in the first episode when she's placing the cross on the window, on the wall, and it's clearly setting up something creepy. I'm like, oh yeah, the baby's going to come back to life. And it does, but even when that happens, just knowing where we were in that first episode with this lifelike doll and now having an actual child, I'm interested to see where that storyline goes, figuring out where the heck did this girl come from, and what's going on with the mother, because there is a moment where she opens the refrigerator and she's clearly zoned out, and there's this giant light shining on her face. A lot of weird things happening, but I mean, M. Night Shyamalan coming in to direct, and some writers that have done twists and turns like this in shows and series before, so you expect nothing less. But Servant, man, a lot of interesting questions being asked right now about this show, and I think that's good. It's always nice when a show can start conversation like this, and I do believe this is one that's actually doing that. So out of all of the Apple Plus shows so far, this is one of the cooler genre things that I've seen so far. We're definitely veering into horror territory, but it's also a thriller, and it's a mystery of sorts. Really good acting, like I said, and the direction has been super slick so far. So yeah, I'm definitely interested, definitely going to continue watching, and I will be back for a full season review. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps out this channel, and it tells me you want to see me back doing more Apple Plus things. I'll definitely do that. You all are truly the best. Go eat you some turkey, and if it's the day after Thanksgiving, eat leftovers, because I'm sure they're delicious. I'll see y'all soon.